Hello there, and welcome to my channel. This is Kate in the Nest, and it's great to be with you. I'm hoping you are well. And you might be wondering, or no, I know you're all busy, but I myself was wondering if you were wondering about where I was up to with my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Volume 7, which is our tablescape still life. So I am loving this project. I'm learning so much, and it's again because it's large scale. Mine's a little like Rachel's in that it is a meter by a meter square. It's hard for you to get the whole perspective. So I'm going to take you through where I'm up to, but I wanted to share that, in our world of obvious shopping, thrift shopping, just keeping our eyes open. It's just a great way to be. But most of all, there is such joy when synchronicity happens, as I call it, when something jumps out. I, several weeks ago, was in our local op shop, and I'm now keeping my eyes out for tapestries. Or I couldn't. What are they? Needle points? I don't know. I'm, as you know, I don't know the right words. But there, sitting in a frame, was this. And I thought, well, I've already got my vase and my flowers, but if ever there was something from a scene on a table, this might be useful. So there's a jug, a bowl of fruit, and of course we've all been guessing what would come next. I love the candelabra. I'm a real fan. So this has probably got, what is it, a Mexican type of vibe, or Spanish, I don't know. But look, favorite sunflowers, and in a porcelain vase or ginger jar. So Kate just couldn't not grab this. So we're going to start with action, and I'm just going to start the process of giving this piece new life. There it was in a corner gathering dust. It was again one of those one of those missions to get it out of the frame. It had been so well done. I saw that it was a Semco, and as always we wonder about what got it to this point. So now I'm cutting upside down. So I'm just going to pause for a minute. I want to get the bowl of fruit and as much as the vase as I can. So for the moment we might go here. And now that I'm warming up, I can just check in and say, are you wondering about the other prompts? Because now we found there's a second vase of flowers, and that's what inspired me, that this is the time to bring this piece out and share it. Look at that, it's like a fringy. I don't know whether that was supposed to happen, but for the moment I'll keep a jug and the fruit together. Would that be cheating? Who knows? Well, it would be, because our prompts come a little bit apart. And here is this. The plate probably is too red, but I do love the candelabra. So I'm thinking of Rachel in her discussion of shadows. So I'll leave this stripe on under here, and maybe even that bit of black to give it definition. I mean, this feels very bold but exciting at the same time. All these beautiful stitches are now being shared with many more eyes. It's blue, blue, blue. And I don't think the blue will go with my piece, but like that bright blue, but we can chop that. Okay, so there we are. I'm saying that that's the start of my second vase. Okay, context talk. Kate always has a story because my work is, I was going to say different, of course it is, but the work going on in this challenge is absolutely incredible. Blown away by the flowers. So I've always had in mind that I wanted to do mine abstract and very modern arty. At the beginning of the girls show, there's some artists that were inspiring them, and I very much liked the ones that were absolutely covered with everything. So perspective wise, I'm using this blanket which will end up being covered, but it's a beautiful thin, it's the same one I'm using in my Blossom quilt or coverlet. And I started, and I know I confused probably quite a lot of people because I just did all these little squares of patchwork made from feed sack and little bits that I had left over, modern bits, the bark cloth, all these things that you've probably seen before. And now I have added in, because now I sort of am getting more of an idea where my table is. So the table is this large piece, well, this part of the table is this large piece of Rachel's fabrics. It's the linen. And if you've seen these designs, they are collaged bits themselves. So I want to bring out deliberately the collage in a contrast. So this was Rachel's fabric here too. So I'm bringing those lovely light down into this. I like the use of text and it's evolving all the time. I think you saw me, I started off with really over brights because they were from my calf facet quilt made by my mum. I'm gradually reworking those and some of them have disappeared. I'm layering with all my favorite things, embroideries, single flowers. You would know the story of my work. This is a tapestry that was not done and I'm gradually putting little stitches in. There is still a lot of work because these two pinks are too bright. So just imagine that they will be eventually covered up. However, I am loving this idea of violet, and I have from a very old piece this tag here that says violet. So there's part of me that either wants to put violet into the bouquet, but for the moment I'll go on to my vase. I started with a vase off the quilt and then I put another one over the top of it, and now I've got a vase in progress that you will probably say is going through its ugly stage, but I sort of know where I'm going. I've got all this beautiful, really vintage feed sack, and I've got my favorite braid for ornateness, and I'm going to work that together. I put some stuffing in, but it was too puffy, and these are almost too much in the third, too obvious, but that will be worked on. And now that I've got these sunflowers, we might have a play with those. But to get us started, I thought we could have a look at, so that's the vase sign on this beautiful fabric of Rachel's. And I think I've said in other pieces that I'm working on that I am obsessing about the use of black quilting thread, well, thread that quilts, and I'm fighting a real desire at the moment to start hand quilting, like start a piece, but I know that I have some other projects to go on with. So I'm thinking, look, and I've done my knot already, can you believe it? Taught by the beautiful Juju. She said you just pull it through or something, yep. And then chop that off. And I want to just do some running stitch. Oh my goodness, I've been printing and journaling today, and I can see I've got black smudge, black ink over me everywhere. That's how even. I'm going to concentrate and see if I can do better stitches for you. And I know you're supposed to start a rhythm, but I don't think I've got the right needle. See, I go faster, but then the thread comes undone. It was so funny having to move to the other side to film that. I think my first part of that one is out of, my fingers are on the edge. I felt like a newbie. So I'm thinking of savouring each one of these linen squares as an individual patch and then embroidering or embellishing them. Not all of them. And where would I say this one ends? Down a little bit further. Yes, because they're not square, like uneven for collage. Yep. So this pattern here, which I know is a very traditional one in this lovely French blue, I'm looking at those spots and thinking I could put French knots in them. One more stitch. If nothing else, this quilt will bring some bright colour into your day if you're still watching. I mean, I don't know what you call that purple, but it's like cerise and certainly out of my comforts. But that's what we're doing, stretching ourselves. Well, I am. See, the moment I said that, I did wonky stitches, so just stop for a minute again. I'm starting to sweat. It's hot. Yesterday, I went out with my friend, and where we went, they had to light the fire. Now, we're in February, and now today, it is hot again and the air conditioning is on. So it is just the strangest fluctuating weather. I had a fantastic day of doing some tidying and organising. I'm not going to call it tidying anymore because you will think I'm in a mess. I'm just learning how to put all my treasures together in a more logical way. Um, and I loved it and got so far because it was cool. And today, can't do it. Well, I prefer the stitch, put it that way. But I am feeling the heat of the blanket on my hands. Okay. Pulled a little bit tight, but we're getting there. So just that simple little bit. What have I done? Oh, that's a bit of the edge of the blanket. And this is very black. I'll probably put a patch within a patch, or a violet, not that white. But let's now, what's that there for? Oh, I was making, my heart wants to make this into a flower. I wonder if I did it. Just there to remind me. So working at covering up this cerise colour, but still having the outlines. So lots of opportunity for more stitching there. And in terms of just thinking about my other piece here. Now, the challenge with introducing another vase of flowers is perspective. And in this piece, I didn't even have a defined tabletop. But now I'm getting the flow, and that will be, oh, you can't see that, over there will be covered in. So this is the table, and I'm yet to define where the table stops. You know, it could be here. And what happens with wallpaper. So in terms of colours, I had sort of done pinkies, reds, violets, and I've got some yellows here, and you won't get the perspective, but I'm thinking it has to be either further back or forward for perspective to work. Mind you, in the abstract pieces, it's not always clear. So that's a vase there. If we went diagonal, she could be up there and wouldn't cover a lot. So distance, foreground, and then let's just have a play because we have no idea what's coming. What I would do if there was a bowl of fruit or a candelabra. Just want to cut that out. So just please remember that these aren't prompts, they're just members of this needlework. And I'm using them sort of as a patchwork. I'll have to lay it out on the floor, but I do sort of love that there could be some quirky things going on. I like this because of the blues. Yep, more fun to be had. Then I suppose I could also use something texturally for fringe. So that's to be continued. This will definitely be used. No, needs to go further back. See, we really are having to put all our skills together, aren't we? Gosh, that makes me happy when I look at that. That's what I want. Every little bit is going to have a pattern or embroidery or something on it. Okay, so speaking of embroidery, what could we work on? And what colours have I got down here? Oh, I haven't shown you this. I saw Sarah was showing some of her new bits, and I do buy from time to time from the same sources. And this one, some of these patches I just thought were this is on like a flannelette sheet. One minute I was talking about embroidering and now I'm cutting these. I mean, this is amazing. Like, look at that for texture. Worn out, totally worn out. Oh, that's a pretty flower. So look at that one. So I could, I don't know whether I've got any purple. Please don't not think bad of me for chopping this. I absolutely adore it, and every moment that I have it in my hand, I just imagine where it's come from and the history. Okay, so here's a flower that I could put in a special spot. Thinking diagonals, or you can't even see where I've got that. Diagonals building, that's Japanese, out of one of Zoe's kits. Hi Zoe. And then, yeah, I love that there's a diagonal down there. Okay. All right, so, because I've buried all needles, here's some nice pinky, purpley, variegated DMC. Okay, what do we feel like doing? I feel like making this little flower stand out. So I'm going to pick up the purple. Light's not fantastic. And do an outline first. Now I was thinking about doing a another February favourite pouch update, but I've decided that you've probably seen, she's finished now, so the next time you see her, I'll be announcing who's won her. I hate the word won, been selected. There's no such, it's not a competition, it's random. And then that will be on the same day that I announce March. So that'll be very close to March the 1st. I think I do it midnight my time. That's what I did for February. So this is where I'm very random. Where will I go? It's a bit like one of those dot to dots where I don't follow the dots in order. I need to go back up there. Oh, talk about every size stitch in the world. I'm just grateful my husband got a flat battery in his car, and with my son, he's gone back to try and start the car, and I blissfully am here stitching. Very grateful that it's not me out there in the heat. Anyway, they should be home soon. It might be barbecue weather rather than me using the oven as I planned to when I thought it was going to be cold like it was yesterday. Okay, this time I might just stick to going around, because I know you're stitching along and not needing to watch every stitch. As I always say, I just love that. That's what my channel is about, is just you stitching or crocheting or journaling or whatever you want to be doing as I play. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go down to the center of the flower because I'm bored with going around the edge, and I'll come back with that to another time. And seeing we're very close, let's do a French knot. So this big purple thing has some company. Which way am I going to go? This is coming unstranded. I'll just go in there. Oh, I will come back to that because you don't need to see me thread and do any more. What's happening up here that we could have a little play with? I took this flower off an old tablecloth, and I was going to fill it in, but I actually like the balance with that. I think this is too blue. Well, I mean, it's beautiful, but I just had an idea then whether we should be thinking about the center. Where did I do? Okay, so we can have a little selection. Can you see that? Of flowers. That talk about the blue. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so that's how it is. That flower is whole, and I will leave the, or maybe like this. And then it talks to that and to those. I need to finish that. Okay, let's just put that there, and we'll have a feeling of let's go bold. Bold but thin. I can hear voices, so that sounds like a successful mission. Oh no. That's right, at the end. Okay. We'll tuck up under here. So talk about layer upon layer. This flower started out as aqua and pink. Cafacet, it's got applique from a napkin, and now it's got a beautiful vintage nearly called it a horsewhip. Complank. Suffolk buff. Yo-yo. And I do have to say that this piece is one that I'm truly indulging in, that I have a vision, but how to make it happen, I don't know. And because it's such a big piece, that's what I'm loving. These have got, they've got stuffing in underneath, of course they have. I just like looking at it as I go around. See those little flowers and French dots. Then of course, I could embroider that little flower. I'd like to do that. I'm getting a knot. Bad time. I'm going to give a shout out to Sheridan, who such a lovely, lovely subby. But last night she said that she was nearly falling asleep to my video, and then she realised that I was talking about prep for Fleur Woods, and she jumped up and had to check because I'm making my little collection, but she got a scare. So Sheridan, so looking forward to seeing you, and you don't have to do anything. That's just Kate's love of any excuse to make a collection of bits. I know I've shown you this 1,000 times, but there'll be a place for some of these flowers. In my vases. Nearly round. Here we go. Go under. There we are. Okay. So the story to tell is, I hope, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed seeing a little splash of cake colour. Beautiful linen from Rachel joining the garden. That is really my tablescape, and with the potential of its very own new vase. Who knows where she will end? So until next time, it might be a little while, or it might be quite quickly, because I will not stop stitching. Bye for now. Keep well.